can attest to the community being welcoming. Being a new member myself, had plenty of people helping me out with my basics. Just a month ago, I wasn't able to survive at 8, and now I can play somewhat decently, I guess, at 10. But obviously that's relative. As Michael mentioned, the skill ceiling is a little out of this world for this game.
But a lot of respect to you for making that jump. It can be very daunting, and it's very understandable because you have added complexity to your board with that extra color. You have much less stop time for combos and chains. You have much faster clearing, panel clearing and garbage clearing time. So on so many fronts, it's just much harder, and getting used to level 10 physics is not the same as getting used to level 5 or level 8.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, like you mentioned, Texirian, right? Like going between 8 and 10, if you aren't able to kind of like separate your mind or like compartments, like figuring out, okay, level 8 has this set of physics versus level 10 having this set of physics or that set of physics, like that back and forth can almost give you kind of like whiplash. And it's like, oh right, I'm no longer playing on 10, and my board is exploding. And speaking of exploding, let me nuke this guy. But anyway, yeah, like being able to the only thing that can carry over is your solve vision and like your habits. Yep. Where it can feed back in a nice way when you have only 5 colors to deal with, or 6 if you have shock panels, and of course when you have a lot more garbage clearing time, stop time, what have you. It makes it such that even like the less hover time on level 8 makes it a little bit easier. Like you don't have to rely so much on inserts when you have so much more of a safety net on other fronts. But to each their own, because some people still love to do inserts on level 8 too.
They're definitely harder on 8 than 10, that's for sure. It's kind of funny, for like the last time I played a panel game, you mentioned like in your case it was 20 years ago. In my case, before I played panel, like starting last month, the last time I played a game like this was Yo Ho Ho Puzzle Pirates. For those of you who don't know, which is probably everyone, some underground MMORPG with a persistent player run economy that ran like 15 years or so ago, and every single action in the game was made with puzzles, even crafting. And one of these games was called Bilging, where you're basically emptying water out of your ship's cargo hold, right? And that puzzle in of itself really looks like panel, but chains are irrelevant. Combos are extremely important. Like you wanted to say set up a 9 with the least amount of moves possible. That gave you the best performance in the puzzle. So when I first came in, all I would see were combos.
Okay,
so
I got you.
For me, my brain wouldn't process chains whatsoever. So it was a really long time before I even started doing ×2s and 3s, just because my brain was wired in a way that chains didn't matter, right? So I had to like unwire that part of my brain.
I see. But speaking of chains mattering, it's certainly going to matter moving into this single elimination bracket, the first set of which is already being set up. Prediction is up. It's going to be between Wassergeist and Bowser with the trouser. The room has already been made, and they've been given the go-ahead to start. And we're jumping right in.
And it's still a best of 5, correct?
First to 5, so best of 9.
All right. So good luck to both of these players right out of the gate. Oh wow, that was solid from Bowser there, doing, not sure what the technique is called, but doing a 2 wide swap to keep the chain going and managing to pull off a 6 right as an opener move.
Very, very nice, and Bowser guys keeping that stack high. Meanwhile, Bowser, a little bit of a tricky situation, was able to get the yellow into position for a garbage clear. A haphazard swap would have led to a regular 3 clear, not clearing anything, and it made the difference because it gave Bowser that first game.
Yep, solid for my first game from here. Now we see a much better opener from Wasser this time around. 7 already. Wow, getting the 8 as well. That was really solid. And Bowser with his stage a little low, not able to get any...
Immediately ties it up.
Wow, what a response from Wassergeist. And you mentioned the importance of keeping your stack high. We saw it right there where Bowser was pretty low on his own stack, and as that 8 came in, it took the entire screen. No stop time was available. Unfortunately, that's penalty. And for him, looks like he has a decent amount of aggression here.
Oh no, the miswap!
Wow.
Like you saw like Wassergeist like move the cursor to the right, prepped for that purple clear, but it just went one space down. That miswap was so tragic. That's what happens when you do everything right, but it just doesn't pan out because of execution or just something unfortunate comes through, and then it's like, well, I guess that means I die.
Yep. Oh, and there's definitely something that needs to be said about momentum, where if you're planning a chain and you miss one part of it, suddenly you have to rethink everything, and just that little delay sometimes can be enough to get you killed.
Yeah, I like that you brought that up. Like, being able to exercise, like, being able to adapt to the changing board, especially when things don't go as you plan. Being able to switch from attacking or defending into damage control for something that you didn't want to have happen is also, like, a very useful skill. Like, well, one, to recognize it, and two, to act on it.
Really good defense from Wasser so far. Unfortunately, though, he did kind of mess up those blues that would allow him to clear that garbage, but was able to actually land a 4 while clearing his board and clearing the garbage as well. Now his layer 2 has also a clear available, so should be able to get him out of dodge should he decide to. Now going back on top and halfway there. And really solid match by both these players so far. Oh, Bowser with those 2 towers on the right, unfortunately, not able to keep that chain going on the bottom, and Wasser is going to tie it up 2-2.
Still very much anyone's game.
Looks like we have a pretty close match between these two. They seem pretty evenly matched as far as
separated 4 combo garbage. This is scary for Bowser. Was able to join both parts together and get a garbage clear to clear everything.
Yeah, sometimes those little combos can be as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than the big chains, depending on how they fall, because they can give you really hard patterns to clear. And we saw Bowser there with a good creative way of connecting them together and then clearing them out. Now has the screens on the left, should be fine for the time being, but there's still a lot more garbage coming his way, though. That's a 6 now.
Oh no, another miswap. That one I call the boomerang, where you're trying to move a panel in one direction, it just moves in place. It's like you bring it one direction and it goes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that in my soul.
That's definitely also like a two-edge blade, where at first I was doing like inserts by spamming the key, but if you do that, sometimes you'll swap it back, basically ghosting yourself. So it's better to learn the timing. Sure, it's harder at first, but at least you know you won't be screwing yourself over.
Yeah, you want to give yourself every opportunity to like not put yourself in a bad situation when it's completely preventable or avoidable. That was really unfortunate. Like, so Bowser had dug out through the center and left 2 mini towers, and then again, Foster ties it up. DeluxeFlame says in chat, I boomerang like 3 times so far. Yeah, that's relatable. It happens. It's not fun, but it happens. I can only say my condolences.
Wasser taking the time to set up a 7 there, combo clear to get that garbage out of the way. I like the way he knows when he can take his time, right? And when he can, he does, which allows him to be really strategic about how he wants to approach defense and offense.
Exactly. It's so key, especially when like the opponents here like are more than competent in topping you out in an instant.
Lots of garbage piling up there thanks to the stop time. Looks like it didn't quite reach the top, and he already had more stuff set up. Meantime,
that was really scary. Bowser had identified not being locked out of an immediate clear, having to expose something up top by making another clear. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make use of the second tier. I believe it was with the purples. And now Wasser is at set point.
Bowser is able to bring it back to a ninth match here. So far, he's pretty comfortable. There's going to be a couple garbage lines coming his way, though, so you're going to have to keep something set up on the top there to make sure he's ready to defend. Looks like he's going to be fine for the time being. In the meantime, the Wasser getting real high on his board, though. Was able to get a couple clears in right in the nick of time. Gets that 5 there, and now it's going to lower the rest of his board. And he should be fine for the time being, but there are a couple garbage bucks coming his way as well.
Wasser's been very good in terms of trying to make each clear result in a combo or chain. So in the sense that you have very few 3 clears. That was unfortunate. That, again, it's the 4 combo snipe. Bowser had been doing a very good job with that in the group stage. I remember this. And we have a game 9. This is our first set within our single elimination bracket. And we're already at a game 9. I guess this is why people didn't vote or bet channel points, because maybe they just couldn't call a winner. I wouldn't blame them given that this was so close.
Absolutely. It looks like for the time being, Wasser has the upper hand in this final match. But Bowser, so far defending nicely, now has to set up those blues to keep the chain going. Actually, no, it had reset in between those. So now Wasser probably looking to try and get either a big block or a couple combos in to get Bowser at the top of the stage, because right now his stage is getting a little low.
Oh no, just
not getting those yellows.
One swap shy.
Yeah,
one swap shy of getting that garbage clear. GG's to Bowser with the trouser. Congratulations, Wasser, for making it to the semi-finals.
Really, really solid match by both of these players. Really hung by a thread there, and as you mentioned, just one swap away from keeping himself into this match, which could have went way differently if that swap came in. Fortunately, not quite getting it, and Wasser moves forward.
Okay, and with that, our next set is going to be between DeluxeFlame and DogInDaGrass, the prediction for which will be up shortly. Alright, prediction is up.
That would be another hard one to predict. Like, I wouldn't bet anything, I think, on this one. I wouldn't be confident enough to say, all right, this guy's going to take the win, right? These guys, again, are really closely matched, having played both of them. Obviously, both of them really rock my world, but in a different way, I guess.
Meanwhile, like, there are some players that love to just bet their life savings of channel points on this. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see something like that and people saying, I'm all in on this player, I'm all in on that player. But prediction, I'll be taking it down after the first game.
So off we go for this first match. Decent openers on both sides, nothing too big, but a lot of mix up. So couple combos, couple chains. Looks like the dog will be fine for the time being now. He has quite a hefty board to work with if he wants to go back on the big offensive. Well, that's a big block coming on Deluxe's side. Does he have anything? Oh, tries to get those.
That was such a frame-perfect drop.
Wow.
It could have resulted in a garbage clear. It's unfortunate that there was a miss swap afterwards.
Really, really close one there. Good job by Dog there to get a lot of garbage in a really short amount of time, and Deluxe had a lot of 10 opener combo and following up with a 2. That was a really clean 5x5. So already on the defensive here, gets a 6 there, takes the time to do so.
And you can see there's the difference, right, with especially with openers, because it's easy to see, where because Dog sent more chains in that opener, it's DeluxeFlame that was put on the defensive for longer, and it gave Dog that second game. DeluxeFlame sent a lot of smaller garbage, like single line, and all of that was cleared with a single clear. So Dog didn't have to burn too many panels and was rewarded with a ton of extra panels.
Absolutely. The order in which you send out stuff is really important, as we saw here. Having a lot of combos obviously is great if there's already garbage on your opponent's side, but if he has a free board, then, as you mentioned, just this single clear will basically get rid of everything, which is why you'll see most players try to opt for a big chain as an opener move and then follow that up with a lot of combos.
Which is really scary for Dog.
Oh!
Was able to downstack just in time to safety.
Has those greens, yep, gets the
Good
4
setup.
right in nick of time. Tier 2 gets the yellow to clear that other on the top side, but he's still topped off. Has to keep something going because the no stop time would kill him right now. Tries to get the 4, gets it. The 5 doesn't quite land. He's gonna lose the last stop time. There's a tower on the left. Has to be careful. There are no stop times left.
I don't know about you, Dexterian, but I was looking at that left side dark blue 4 combo for the longest time.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like I can understand the logic with saving it. Just hope that, you know, whatever you're doing elsewhere doesn't undo it. So Dog had to basically reset the plan from scratch and see, okay, well, where do I go next? So it's important to, like, if that was intentional, make sure that, like, it's being able to, like, keep track of that and stay very clean is very difficult.
Absolutely. There's a fine line between keeping a clear for the garbage and going all out on defensive, right?
Oh, a little bit of rollback on my end. Like they were just not moving, and then they just zoomed.
So
it's good awareness from Dog, seeing that like the intended clear didn't pan out, so was able to adapt to that.
Same thing on Deluxe's side, had no immediate clear, so that garbage was able to do a 3 clear just to get those blocks in position, and then did a 4 to get that garbage out of the way, and now sending a couple combos out, try to get the chain going. Doesn't quite go as he's intended, but manages to get a 3, and now has quite a bit of blocks to work with, and another 8, but there's a big block on top there, so has to keep that stop time going because there's more garbage coming as well. But he still has some wiggle room though,
my gosh.
so he should be fine for the time being. Gets that 4 red. Meantime, Bowser is a little high, has to be careful, has those yellows on the left, able to get it in nick of time. In the meantime, Deluxe though already topped out again, has no immediate clears. Those reds on the right were available, and unfortunately Dog not getting that in time, and now 3-2 is the score.
DeluxeFlame had been struggling with stack raise for so long, but it was Dog that died to stack raise instead. I was watching both, like, it happens, right? Where you just simply get outrun by the stack, and you hate to see it, and it just goes to show, like, it highlights the importance of just being able to find something on demand, so that you don't ever have that as a liability. It's so, like, it's important to always be doing something, always be looking, and always be popping.
A lot of stuff is going to be coming on Dog's side now, because most of the garbage is going to come in one fell swoop, as he was on stop time for the longest time, and here it comes. There was a lot of combos on initially, and there's a big block on top, so it gives him some wiggle room, and the same thing basically is going to be happening here, where he's going to be stacking a lot of offensive while Deluxe is on that stop time. Gets a 5 chain, and he's pretty low on his board, but a lot of stuff is going to be coming on top. Manages to get a 6 here, and the tower on the left could be dangerous for DogInDaGrass. Is he able to down stack in time? Gets those blues in the middle. Nice job by him, and now still has a lot of garbage to clear, and his tier 2 doesn't have any clears for him, so has to be creative in how he's going to handle this. Those yellows,
excellent setup. In time. Excellent setup from Dog, like in terms of that double tower down stack. Set up a sensor clear, nothing clear walling, nothing interfering, and was able to get it and stay safe.
Solid defense by him so far, and you see he's using his time while that garbage is clearing to set up other stuff in the bottom. Now manages to get a 7 chain while defending against this big garbage wall. Now has to be careful now. This is the dangerous spot. It's the down stack and the reds right in the nick of time. Solid play by him. And now Deluxe in a similar situation, but Dog still completely topped out right now. Has to keep that stuff going.
Going with that extra double chain. When already under pressure with layered garbage, it really narrows down your options. Left with just the yellow.
Nice.
Gets the second tier clear with the reds, and it paid off. Solid. 2-minute game, and was able to outlive DeluxeFlame's amazing pressure.
Amazing defense by Dog there, keeping the stop time going basically forever while sending out quite a bit of stuff. That was absolutely stellar by him. Sets up a 5 here for the defense, as the opener was a little weak on Deluxe's side, but now he has plenty of time to be able to send out more stuff as a fairly big board to work with right here.
It's just only like some small bit of garbage from DeluxeFlame giving Dog, leaving things wide open for Dog to just continue to pounce.
Yeah. Oh, that's a 6 coming his way, though. Will there be anything on top of it, though? Because just the 6 won't be enough to take Dog out, as we saw his defense is pretty good. It's a couple combos. There's a 3.
Good weights. Good weight to keep, to leave that spot open for the light blue 4 combo.
Good choice by him there, and now Deluxe has to be careful because there's quite a bit of garbage coming right on top of what's already there. Though he has some stuff available on top in the tier 2 if so desired, but now it's all going to come in at once because he's still using that stop time chaining all the way up to 6, so it's all going to be coming in one fell swoop. Again, gets another 4 before all that stuff comes in. Actually less than I anticipated, so now it's Dog that's really playing on the defensive for the time being.
That was incredibly good awareness from DeluxeFlame. Deluxe had noticed that there would have been a few extra things clearing had nothing been done. So there was a few extra swaps that I noticed there to prevent extra clearing and to make things a little bit easier to predict of what would happen afterward. It's a very subtle thing to notice, but a lot of players like in that skill range, like they're doing that because they don't want to have things come up such that it throws their board awareness into disarray and it's no longer what they expected it to be. So those few extra moves, like they can mean the difference of staying alive or dropping to something unexpected.
Absolutely. Good defense by Dog again here, noticing the clears in the T2, able to clear those blocks as there was a lot of combos just waiting to be cleared, and now both players basically playing topped off and trying to stay alive in this 7th match rather. Another big chain again on the left here. Deluxe getting another 5 out. That's 50 lines of garbage
scary.
so far. Oh, barely gets the defense right in the nick of time. Both players playing on the edge here. Looks like for the time being they both have something lined up for the defense, but there's getting dangerous for Deluxe. Gets another clear there, barely.
Gets some stop time back with that 2 chain, and it was just enough.
Yep.
DeluxeFlame at set point.
But I wouldn't count Dog out yet, as we've seen him able to defend against basically anything Deluxe can dish out, right? Just depends. It all comes down to how the boards are set up. But if the setup is favorable, so far he doesn't have any issues whatsoever defending against those big attacks that we've seen Deluxe dish out.
Yeah, these players, like, they do not rely on being lucky. Like you're alluding to, if they can set up well, that will make the difference.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh, that was a nice grounded catch.
That was sick too, yeah.
Good 6 combo. Buy some stop time. Along with getting a decently efficient garbage clear.
Oh. Dog with the tower on the right. He had those purples, but would have had to move the yellow and the red and blue first. Didn't get there quite in time, and Deluxe is going to be moving on.
Congratulations to DeluxeFlame. You are moving on to the semifinals. All right. Let's see. Okay, so next we have Random versus Wassergeist. Okay.
Any predictions for this one?
This is hard to call as well. And the Twitch prediction is also up. Room is up. And I believe they will be getting the go-ahead to get started soon.
And you can't really use the ELO as a benchmark to try and get these predictions, as Random has been sitting at 1337 for the longest time now. I think he's just keeping that elite ELO mark and been playing casual since he's reached that point.
Yeah, like Random and SwaghettiYolonese both went with like the elite rating crew. But as you may have experienced yourself or have seen throughout this tournament, they play well above what their ratings actually allude to. Yeah, random, like, I would easily put as plat in terms of what she's able to put out. And yeah, like, one thing you'll notice for both of these players, like, they're good at looking ahead and trying to set things up. So there's a bit of planning that goes into their chains, and they're usually, like, make use of their well, so that they're not left X number of moves away from a solve.
Right.
It does mean that you have to be right, like, you can't make mistakes, because it could punish you more often than a player that may rely or lean into relying a little bit more reactions than others. So it kind of depends on the situation and their preparedness. The random took the first game, and Wasser will be looking to get on the board.
Yeah, looks like not sure if this is going to be the game to do it though. Right now it's a little high on his board. He's been playing nearly at the top for quite some time. Finally able to lower it a little bit, and thankfully there wasn't that much garbage coming in, as that would have been lethal at this point. So gonna be.
It almost was with that 4 combo falling behind it. Yeah, Wasser will be looking to get a bit of a larger chain to start putting random in check. But it's going to be a little bit longer because random usually doesn't waste any time in trying to zone your opponent out. Very scary for Wasser was trying to, like, get a stealth, like, living on a prayer to, like, get that into place with very little time. Drops an early 4 chain this time around.
Yeah. And following up with a 4, maybe 5. Yep, that's 6. Solid. Wow. So that's a 4 followed by a 6, which can be pretty hard to deal with, as we see random not able to get those yellows in time, and quickly Wasser takes the third game.
I can respect random trying to bring in that green for a 6 combo garbage clear, because if you're clearing garbage with combos and chains, each layer versus just a simple 3 clear, that garbage adds up very quickly. So it is worthwhile when you can expend the panels, which is basically almost all the time,
right,
to spend like a 4 combo or a 5 combo or a 6 combo each time, if you can afford not like overburning and so on and so forth.
Wow. Solid by random here. 9 lines already out from him pretty early into this match. Now Wasser has to deal with that. Able to get that garbage out of the way. There's still more on top though, and right now random's basically playing with a full board, so gonna be looking to keep that low and try to dish out more stuff, because Wasser has to keep that stop time up. Gets those yellows. Oh, nice 4 clear there to keep the stop time, because he's still topped up. Those greens are going to save him. Can align those for the garbage chain. Gets the 3. That should be good. Has a lot still on top, though, so going to have to downstack a little bit. Gets a 3 clear for some time. Gets the 4 right in the nick of time. That was close.
Very patient play from Wassergeist, making a little bit more use of the shake time given, rather than jumping to an immediate clear. Just wait just a small amount to reorient or restabilize. Meanwhile, random had been staying very low stack against Wasser's pressure, so she's been very safe, like been playing things very safe, and in anticipation of when Wasser would eventually send a larger chain. Still waiting on that, but it's gonna come if Wasser is put in a situation to start fighting back.
A nice 4 chain there at the bottom to lower his the board a little. Definitely gonna help get more space with the breed, because right now there hasn't been
missed
much
insert
space.
there.
Oh.
That was unfortunate.
And sometimes that's all it takes.
Random is up 3-1.
Ooh, solid 4 there.
I see Swag saying shout out to the commentator using my whole name. I mean, I try to, like, at least like when I was calling out the who's moving on, or the end of group stage results.
Nice patience by Wasser there, waiting, as you mentioned, for that shake time to come in, giving him that little bit of extra time to negotiate the board. Sets up the 6 there for the clear. Looks
That's
like
another thing, Dexterian, where you may see, maybe not with this group of players because they're a little bit more aware, but for players that are new to panel or at least at this like skill level, the concept of Wasser is closing things up a little bit, but anyway, there are some players that might try to down stack indiscriminately and do so very quickly to try to get to safety. But as you may have seen, doing so invites getting sniped by combo garbage if that's following behind in the stack. So that kind of panic down stacking could serve or contribute to killing you faster rather than waiting things out and trying to go one row at a time and trying to be able to abandon the down stack in favor of getting a combo or chain. And while I was talking about that, Wasser takes an early third game, tying things up 3-3.
Yeah, Random fumbling a little with that 8 setup there at the bottom, and absolutely, I am guilty of actually still doing that from time to time. I initially was pretty much a given that I would panic down stack. Eventually, you start to see that, yeah, no, it's not an actual viable strat, as you mentioned. You're basically hurting yourself more often than not, so intelligent down stacking, definitely a critical skill the higher you go up the ladder, and these guys so far have been doing it pretty nicely.
Yeah, it's really cool to see these players apply that live under tournament conditions where it's like much higher pressure. So you see, like, they don't neglect their fundamentals and they know what they're doing.
In terms of like mental state, this game reminds me a little of golf, where your mental state is as, if not more important than your actual skill level. Like being relaxed and thinking things through is extremely important. You don't want to panic and, you know, not think your things through. And obviously there's some muscle memory that involved. Like the more you have, the easier it is to, you know, do these things. So we can see like these guys, obviously it's not their first rodeo.
Totally. And Wasser is now at set point.
And solid 6 there coming in on Random's side.
Random was very patient, just waiting for that to fall on her board.
Should be fine for the time being. Those yellows and greens, yeah, should be good. And meantime, Wasser is still dishing out quite a bit of stuff, and now that's going to be a hard pattern to get rid of. Oh, unfortunately, not enough time to get those greens, and Wasser is going to take the match.
Okay, Wasser moves on to the finals. Okay. Our next semifinals will be between SwaghettiYolonese and DeluxeFlame.
I don't know if the seeds were accurate, but if they were, that match was actually an upset, as Random was the first seed from what I can see.
That's right. For a little bit of context, like I think I've shared already, like Wassergeist has taken this championship several times.
Right.
I think I've seen them fight in the past. But yeah, like it's still no small feat to get out of group stage undefeated. So very, very well played to Random, and we will see her in the third place match against the loser of SwaghettiYolonese versus DeluxeFlame.
Looks like the lobby is up. So last semi-final match here for this tournament. The winner of this match will be moving on to the finals against Wassergeist. Match going to be underway soon here. Predictions should be up. And without further ado,
And we are in. Okay. Failed slide leads to a 5-chain for DeluxeFlame.
which is still pretty solid. Oh wow, nice 8 there, taking the time to really place that up.
Little dangerous though. In response, Swaghetti sent a large chain with 4-chain with some extra combo garbage, and that 8 combo on DeluxeFlame's board was near the center, which led to the precursor to two very tall towers.
Right. That's something that I've noticed the better players doing, is that often they'll start chains on the left or the right sides, right? As to not get those towers.
Precisely. If they can try to actively stave off anything that could lead to the twin tower like situation, they would. But sometimes you may not have that, and you might opt, because it's faster, to just dig out the center with a clear direction afterwards, so that you can preemptively clear one of the resulting 2 towers.
Solid mechanics on Deluxe's side there to keep that chain going all the way up to an 8. So now has some time to set up more chains to send out, already not wasting any time. That's another 3 with a 4 combo on top. And now Swaghetti with a little hard pattern to clear here. So gonna be fine for the time being, but now the stop time is getting shorter and shorter, and topped out here takes the combo and the chain to get some stop time. The yellows are available on the left side, but now the dangerous spot is approaching really fast. All those yellows
was able to outrun Swaghetti a little bit. DeluxeFlame was fumbling just a little bit with trying to get garbage clears and burning extra panels, probably unintentionally, because he had to expose a garbage clear afterwards.
Wow. Nice job from Deluxe's side there. I had to downstack those 2 towers on the left, and while downstacking, managed to get the 3 clear on the reds to touch that garbage and clear it out, which most of us probably would have missed. So props for that.
Good awareness to take reaction to get the red garbage clear. Bit of a poking battle right now, still waiting for someone to make a big swing.
There's always that risk with these big swings where, you know, the garbage is basically going to pile up and all come in one swoop, and then if you're not ready for it, it's a risk-reward situation.
Was able to get a garbage clear with the yellows. Let's see if DeluxeFlame can find one.
Oh wow, actually
good work on getting rid of those shock panels.
Shock panels were called. Alright, today I learned.
Okay.
I just called them grays.
Because I grew up with Pokemon Puzzle League, I used like the metal panels, or like Pokeballs. But yeah, I also learned pretty shortly after joining the server. Swaghetti now on the board.
Wow, solid opener there. Downstacking could have been dangerous. Wow,
nice horizontal
6. That was sick.
I always like to see that one.
Theoretically, the biggest combo you can do with a single swap would be a 6 plus 8? 14, right? So you get the 6 horizontal, then 5 vertical?
If you're not dropping any panels, then yes. Otherwise, you could make use of one side and then just drop by pulling out a panel, and then you get several rows of panels comboing together. So it depends on the setup in terms of what would be the largest possible. But yeah,
wow,
there are a lot of ways
Swaghetti
to make
not
that
expecting those quick those quick garbage blocks coming in. Like Delux getting an early 8, letting it go and then getting a chain out.
It is now at set point.
Expecting it. And
but
oh,
Swaghetti
wow.
does not want DeluxeFlame to run away with this. Still at set point, but Swaghetti is still very much alive.
Absolutely. And the
needs two
same
more
thing
games to tie
basically
things up.
happened. So, Swaghetti giving him some of his own medicine there. Good opener though from Deluxe. Swaghetti already pretty high on his board, but gets a decent 4, even a 5 there to clear some of that board up, and now down to about half height, which is much easier to deal with.
Nice slide from DeluxeFlame to convert that into a 7 chain.
Yeah.
A little scary though for Swag. No.
Unfortunate.
Got caught out of position because of that 7 chain. And DeluxeFlame will be moving on to the finals. And SwaghettiYolonese will be meeting up with Random for the upcoming 3rd place match. Alright, let's end submissions here. Oh man, I've been bad with that.
Something that I noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in terms of chaining, offensively it's great, right? It's hard to clear, yada yada, but in terms of defense, it seems like they don't give you, chains don't give you that much stop time. So if you don't have something to follow up a chain right away and you're topped off, it can be extremely dangerous, which is exactly what we saw with that time 7 as you mentioned there.
Okay, so what happens here is like you get when the chain garbage is the topmost piece on screen, you get the most amount of shake time. That's what happens when you're down stacking and it falls. When it's at its fattest or at its thickest or largest, you get the most amount of garbage clearing time, and that goes down with each layer that you clear. And consequently, as it gets smaller, down from 4 thickness or 4 rows large and down, you will also have less shake time. But the stop time that's awarded from combos and chains only has to do with whether or not you're topped out. You'll get some amounts based on the combos or chains, and also whether or not you're topped out. It won't have anything to do with how thick the piece of garbage is, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Now this is scary for Random. Was able
shadow
to
yellows.
Raise to a garbage clear. We'll have to sit through all of that 9 chains the chain garbage block clearing time. That was a mouthful trying to get all that without twisting my tongue.
So far so good. Random looks like going to be dealing with that big 9 on screen decently so far. Now we're getting at the dangerous part of it all, where you mentioned the shake time gets really low. Had those
but a miss swap.
Oh.
Took out Random, was trying to go for the light blues, and it made sense being able to have a clear direction, just clear out the right side afterwards, and then lead to the left side garbage clear. Good awareness from Random, being able to follow up from that garbage chain and then lead to a following, like, to start clearing the next tier of garbage.
Sometimes it makes me wonder, like, where even are the eyes while all of that's happening, right? Because you got to be looking at 2 different spots at once.
Yeah, totally. And there's the beauty of it. If you know that something is going to resolve into a later chain link, or you have a combo set up, you can avert your gaze from that area because you've already mentally solved it, or you've done the setup necessary. And then you can direct your attention to things that you may not have paid close enough attention to, and that requires you to actually actively focus on.
Wow. I love the creative way Swaghetti has been tackling that defense. Unfortunately, not able to keep it going, though, as the 5 chain wall clearing was really beautiful. Random would have had to deal with that, but didn't matter in the end. Wasn't able to get all the way to the top.
And Random ties it up. So we have, oh yeah, DogInDaGrass in the chat. Elite match. Just move your eyes independently, then you can focus on 2 things at once. Yeah, I imagine.
Being a chameleon would be really
crazy.
helpful. Yeah. Useful skill for panel for sure. Fortunately, evolution said no in that regard, and our eyes are a little fixed.
We make do with what we got.
Oh, tries to get the slide there, not quite able to get it.
Swag. Couple
Plenty
extra
of stuff
pieces
on
of
the right,
combo garbage.
Yeah.
If Random's not ready for it and wasn't ready for it, that extra low shake combo garbage is very fatal when not ready to address it. And that's the thing, when you're at this level, like, you're going to be basically running with the assumption that you will be topped off 100% of the time. And I think that helps these players get into that mindset of always trying to look for what's the defensive solve, so that they don't ever put themselves in danger for an extended amount of time. It's almost they practice that to a point where it becomes instinctual.
Oh, look. A little lucky on Swag's side there that there wasn't any more garbage on top, because had to take a little bit of time to be able to set up that garbage clearer there.
You can notice, right, Tuxerian? Like over time, if there's nothing happening, you start to realize, oh, if I was topped off, that actually is death.
Yep. Oh, solid, solid, solid. I love Swaghetti's ability to be able to play both defensively and offensively at the same time.
That was such a clutch downstack from Random, being able to downstack to safety. One frame too late, and that would have spelled death at that position. Has to work with some not so kind layering.
Greens right on the
gets the greens right in time, right on time. Good awareness to set up that 4 combo as well, knowing how that's going to look after the panels fall.
Oh, it keeps the chain going to give him a little more time to see if he's going to be, they're going to be able to clear that. And it looks like it'll be enough for the time being. Those blues, there goes the purple on the left, but still, the stop time is low. Wants to get the horizontal cleared in the red. Nicely done by Random. This defense has been absolutely outstanding.
Incredibly heads-up play from Random.
Oh, that's going to be a little rough. No, not quite touching
scary.
the top.
Oh, couldn't quite get through. That lone dark blue staring you at the face. Yeah, I know how that feels. But yeah, like you were saying, Dexterian, like, you know, just constantly doing something, always looking, always being able to solve. And that's what we got to see out of both players.
Yeah.
And that was a 2-minute game.
One of the closest games we've seen so far. Right out of the gate, Swaghetti sees those. Both players actually opening with a 3. A little tower on the left could have been dangerous there, but quickly gets rid of that and opts to go with more offensive before going for that clear on the garbage there. So
Random's going to be rewarded with a lot of panels thanks to that single garbage clear against so much combo garbage.
And now Random has a lot to work with. Gonna keep that chain going again. And now it's Swaghetti that's in a little rough spot, but still has some space to work with.
Oh,
and,
but stack raised. That was unfortunate. There was like an out with the dark blues and then trying to dart down or to the right as a follow-up. But again, have to react to that and always be looking. And now Swaghetti is at set point.
Random's gonna have to bring out the A game here if it wants to bring that match home. For the time being, looks like they're gonna be okay. There's those reds available. Actually, that could have been dangerous. Gets the clear, should be fine. Yep.
Good reaction to the left side dark blue 4 combo.
Oh,
but that combo it's these 4 combos. They've been sniping people like throughout today. But very well played. GG's to Random, and congratulations to SwaghettiYolonese for taking 3rd place.
Solid match from Swaghetti, getting that victory 5-1. Now just the one match left, Wassergeist versus DeluxeFlame in the finals, seed number 3 versus seed number 4. We should be in for a treat.
Okay, so Chaos Orteo has given them the okay to get the room set up. Prediction is up. Everyone bet your points.
Props on the panel devs for keeping the new client retro compatible with the old one, as I'm still running the old one on this PC because I haven't took the time to update yet, and it's still working flawlessly. And as a dev myself, we don't get these props nearly often enough, so it's always nice to have some people recognize the work that we put in.
100% agree. If it weren't for the devs, we won't be able to have this game, like to be able to play on the daily, much less have tournaments. Ridley
the yellows!
249, sup? Good to see you in chat. Welcome, welcome. You came in at a very good time. This is the grand finals of our Panel Attack Advanced tournament.
And already
Combo storm from DeluxeFlame, instantly addressed by Wassergeist with that clear. Still a lot of garbage falling behind it. Is Wasser ready for it? Is, and follows it up with a green 4 combo off to the right.
Deluxe has a tier 2 available should it be required, which could be coming really handy. Nice awareness there to keep that light blue on top of the stack as to not break the 3 clear, as that could have been a lethal blow. And now she's going to be able, looks like she's going to be able to deal with that just fine. But there's still quite a bit more coming soon once that sometimes is out and dealt with. Looks like actually only 1 block falling here, getting a 4-chain in the meantime, even a 5. That was really, really, really good. So now the defense is going to be on the Wasser's side. Oh, rough pattern here though, in terms of, oh, gets the light blues. That was really good. And thankfully, on top, gets another 5 clear as well. Should give enough time to get that.
Second clear option for Wasser, takes it. Good opportunity to for Wasser to make use of more panels for some follow-up offense.
Nice. Was a little concern for Wasser there for a second, but again, the awareness just being on point to see that clear as it comes in.
Nice lag chain from DeluxeFlame thanks to that insert. Gonna keep Wasser busy.
Wow.
But DeluxeFlame has to be careful, does not want to end up in a lockout situation. Kept that third yellow up in the 3rd row for a garbage clear.
Ooh, that is an interesting pattern to say the least to deal with multiple layers, but actually deals with it really easily, it looks like. And able to respond in kind. We're at 62 lanes of garbage out from Deluxe already, and now at times 8 coming in at 2 minutes 30. That's 69 lanes in Wasser.
It paid off. That was really crazy. Like, the fact that DeluxeFlame was going all in on sending heavier garbage, like, you would imagine that when a player does that, they kind of resign themselves to playing the longer game, expecting that all else being equal, their opponent's going to live through all of that until they don't. So it's always like interesting to see, okay, is it going to pay off like in the short term? Okay, let's see.
Oh,
both players have like several rows worth of panels, so either of them could very well like go into a big swing, and DeluxeFlame immediately does that.
Speaking of, yep. The Reds come in the nick of time. That could have been dangerous, and now Wasser's going to be playing on the back foot for the foreseeable future with that big 8 on top, sitting on top of his board. Is that now up to a 6 on that defense, but looks like there's nothing left. Oh, that was a really creative choice to keep that yellow on top and then get the light blues to clear.
A little bit of an unfortunate downstack let all of that piece of chain garbage lock onto DeluxeFlame's screen, but a little fumble there with the reds for the garbage clear has Wassergeist tie things up.
Really, really close match so far. It looks like a solid opener from the Deluxe. Wasser still basically analyzing the board at this point, didn't see anything. Oh, that was a nice 2-3-4 line up there, following up with a 5-6, ending it, then getting the yellows for declare. Now Deluxe has to deal with that 6 block.
That was such a smart time-sensitive clear from DeluxeFlame. It's like you see those greens, and if you take even like 1 second too long, it's gonna drop, and then you're out of an immediate garbage clear. And then you have to solve your board in an awkward way, digging out more of the middle, leading to a double tower situation.
Little of a rough spot here from Deluxe, keeping the stop time going with 3 clears to be able to finally get something touching the garbage. That was really, really good.
Very nice. Good reaction from DeluxeFlame with such thin chain garbage.
And a similar situation again, gets the oranges right in the nick of time.
I'm liking seeing how both players have been making use of those extra moves to manipulate their stacks into a more favorable situation.
And there's a lot of garbage on standby there on both sides. Wasser gets the clear right in the nick of time. A little high on the board though, so that stop time is gonna get lower and lower as the garbage gets clear, but it looks like for the time being, should be fine. There's another 4 clear. In the meantime, though, Deluxe is setting up another decent punch with another 4 chain. And Wasser responding in kind on those blues, though. God, could have been dangerous. Gets the light blues right in the nick of time once again. Now lining up those purples again. Really, really close. Both players playing on the edge here.
Nice 3-chain 8 combo from DeluxeFlame into a tornado. Wow. Crazy reaction to the
nice. Oh yeah, the reaction time is... We wouldn't have any better like reaction times with like Counter-Strike players or something like that, right?
And then just as we were saying that, DeluxeFlame had another grounded catch.
Oh no.
Nice combo chain from Wasser. What's the follow-up? Patiently goes for the dark blue. Very nicely done. Safe. Wasn't going to lead to a double swap.
Jesus, the 4!
That reaction under pressure was amazing to get that 4 combo.
Keeps the chain going to keep that stop time even up to a 5. Didn't expect to go all the way up. Well, Wasser's defense has been so good this match. Up 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. This is the longest match we've seen so far, and finally Deluxe.
Oh, that was unfortunate. That commentator's curse, though. 3 minutes on the dot, though. I like that. That I think was our longest game on stream, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Just one swap shy of making that bicolor 6.
A little tricky there on Deluxe's side to get that clear. I manages to get it though, so it's going to be fine, but could have been a really quick kill. And now there's going to be more coming on top. That's a 5 and that's going to 5 coming on top as well, but he's already up to 7 on that defense. Finally, it's going to reset that chain. Now has that 4 clear. Should be fine for the time being. Now it's going to be on Wash's side to handle that defense, but the amount of panels they have should be fine.
Bengineer in chat, to answer your question, disembodied voices today are me, Musical, and Dexterian, brand new commentator to the Tetris Attack Online community. And like, same day that I brought him in, he's already commentating. Very excited. Been bringing so much energy, and I'm so happy to have him here.
Happy to be here. So this match doesn't look like it's going to be done anytime soon again. Actually, as I say that, could have been a little
catch from Wasser.
Wow. Has those blues, should be fine. But again, that's a little of a... Those are always the tricky spots. The light blues were available. Yeah, the speed at which they can see these clears is absolutely astounding.
Good awareness for Wassergeist. It's keeping that green propped up.
Oh, the miss.
A little bit of a fumbling on the right side for DeluxeFlame. Ties it up again.
The level these players are playing, you really can't afford any kind of fumbling or miss swap or anything like that. It can be lethal quite instantly. It's exactly what we saw here. Both players with a solid opener, 5 to 6 lines apiece. Deluxe with a little more panels to work with though, so that could actually benefit him in the short term. Able to get a couple combos out, but no chains yet. Finally it's going to start a... Only gets the 2 there, but should be fine to reach the top. Has those greens, there we go. Oh, the yellow is right in the nick of time for Wassergeist, keeping them in the game here.
Needs to do a little bit of finagling on DeluxeFlame's side to expose a garbage clear. Does so with the reds.
There's a little concern there. Looks like it wasn't an issue. Gets the 4 and then lines that up for another 2. No, the miss on the orange Deluxe!
So
what happened there?
Remember what I was saying to Exterior about how, like, once you've solved an area, you can move away because
you can move your eyes away.
The exception here is when it doesn't. That was an example of that. So it's really unfortunate when that happens because you're relying on that assumption that things pan out exactly as you set things up. So once you go away and then you all of a sudden you die, it's like, why am I dead? And it's like, oh, this swap didn't even like happen. Or like this clear didn't even happen.
Yeah. And then the momentum kind of goes away at that point, depending, because you have to like reset your eyes back to where you just took them off, and that little delay sometimes can be enough to get you killed.
When it happens, it's like it can. Well, maybe for me, it can like deflate my like confidence and like, is it good? Can I trust everything that I put in to go through?
Ooh.
Because then it's like, it's almost like red flaggish in my mind, and then I start thinking, do I have to keep checking back to make sure things went through?
Right.
So that's where the patient game comes in, and making sure like you're being very careful with your solves. But if you overcompensate by going too slow, then you might find yourself being outrun by your garbage.
Deluxe finally reaching the top there, had a little struggle to get all the way to that garbage.
Very serious.
Tower on the
What
right.
a clutch 4 combo
Jesus
there.
Christ. Oh, it was really good.
Oh, and it bought DeluxeFlame enough time to tie things up again.
What a match. Couldn't get any closer than this, folks. 3-3. We're tied at 3 apiece for both of these players. They've been playing really, really, really good.
I'm like sitting at the edge of my seat right now.
Same. And it's not hyperbole.
Yeah.
Alright, big one getting set up here. There's the 4. Oh,
nice
this is the
lag chain from Wasser. That frame perfect swap. Getting an extra row onto DeluxeFlame's board.
Sometimes that extra row can be all the difference in the world. Now going to be playing right on top of the board. Has to keep the stop time going because that was going to be lethal. The blues on top of the greens. Alright, that's good. That's good. Should be fine for the time being. Meantime, Deluxe trying to get rid on their side as well. Finally, it's going to reach the top as well. So it looks like for the time being, both have some breathing room. Going to be looking to send out a big punch. There's a 3. For the time being, it's going to be okay. Oh, a little rust spot there for Deluxe. Thankfully, they were topped off and were able to get that clear in the nick of time. And now Wasser has quite a bit of stuff lined up. Waits patiently for the garbage to drop to get that 4 clear in. Gives them enough time to line those light blues for the next layer. They're going to be fine. Ooh, the blues right in the nick of time there. That could have been dangerous. Those greens already lined up for... Oh, actually takes the time and gets the 6 there. Solid choice by them. Ooh, the tower for Deluxe. Misses.
Here it comes. Wassergeist is at set point. Wasser has... is not unfamiliar to this situation, having taken so many tournaments in the past, advanced tournaments in the past. I believe DeluxeFlame is looking to get his first. Apologies if I'm wrong on that, but based on how this set is going, it's still too hard for me to call.
Deluxe is not going to go out lightly here, opening with a 7 chain to start things off for this match, and now it's going to keep Wasser on the back foot for quite some time. A little low on their board though, so going to have to be careful there. Should be fine to try and maybe push the board up a little bit as they have some time, while Wasser is dealing with that big tiered garbage. Gets the yellows, and now chaining it.
DeluxeFlame trying to stay alive, trying to conserve some panels, not overburn. But you can see within that first minute, well, A ties it up. We have a game 9, folks.
It all comes down to this. Lining up that 5, following it up with a 7, all the way up to 4. That's a pretty good opener from Wasser, but in the meantime, on Deluxe's side, gets it to a 7 with, on top of the 4-6 combo. That's a lot of garbage.
With that 7 chain.
Yeah. And the danger here is those following up combos that are going to be falling once that stop time runs out. Right there, there we go. This 6 comes in though, that's going to be keeping them alive for the time being. But right now, this pattern is a little risky.
Holy cow!
Jesus Christ,
what a
that was really,
clutch
really close.
Clear with the yellows. Wasser will have to bide his time.
Needs to touch the top, gets the green. Oh Jesus, no,
good move.
Really, really close. And now, thankfully, all of that garbage was mostly combos, so that's going to give them a lot of panels to work with for the time being, and it's going to allow them to give a big response. That's a 7 coming on Deluxe's side. Now has to reach the top, should be fine.
Right in the nick of time, DeluxeFlame had exposed the garbage clear. Had to skim off the top, and DeluxeFlame takes it. Game 9. Congratulations, DeluxeFlame. You are November 2024 Advanced Tournament Champion. GG's to Wassergeist. This was an amazing set.
Absolutely. Solid performance by both of these players. Deluxe taking the clutch at the end there. And just under a minute, able to take it home. 5-4 is the final score.
Okay, so I was right. Your first turn you win. GG's again to DeluxeFlame in chat. Wow. What a tournament.
I'm actually surprised it's already over. That went by quick.
One thing I really liked seeing, especially like in this single elimination bracket, none of these were straight up 5-0 wins.
Right.
Everyone got on the board.
And without everyone playing.
Yeah, oh my, it was crazy. Like, 2 of these sets were game 9s.
And so obviously, Game 9 in the finals is a caster and a viewer's dream. Not a player's dream, obviously.
Definitely not a player's dream, I agree. But with that, any last thoughts before we close out here, Dexterian?
Thanks for having me, I guess. Hopefully we can do this in the future. I had a blast. Hope you did too.
I certainly did. Our next tournament is going to be next Saturday at the same time, 16 UTC, 4 p.m. UTC, for our Panel Attack Expert Tournament. This is open entry to all players. It's also played on level 10. It's going to be a blast. Thank you very much once again to Lava, our streamer, Chaos, our TO, to you, Dexterian, for commentating with me, to all of our other mods in Twitch chat, including Newsy, or Random, as you may have seen her, for moderating chat. It's been a wild ride today. Amazing sets that we got to see. Very much improved gameplay as well, like that I've gotten to see over time. Seeing all these players grow has been very rewarding and very validating for like being able to cast these tournaments. And with that, I think we are good. Thanks again, everyone, for watching, and thank you to Newsy for linking to Discord. I was going to do that. Yeah, you beat me to the chase. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you in the next tournament. Take care, everybody.